Hey everybody, welcome to Ranting with Ricardo. We're here for another Sistas recap review. But before we get into that, because I can do a recap review because it's my channel and I can do what I want. Don't forget to hit the subscription button and turn on your notifications by turning on the notification bell so you can be hit with all updates about everything that's going on over here. And remember, check the description box from down below for some great information. It's some great information down there. But with that being said, let's get into this recap review of Sistas. This is season 7, episode, I want to say this is episode 16. Now, I'm going to tell y'all now, this is coming up off top of the dome. Everything I can remember, I didn't take no notes over this. I'm going to just tell y'all right now. First and foremost, Sabrina, girl, it's about time you start standing up for yourself. But that man had a valid question. Are you on birth control? Because you're not. You are on fertility shots, your hormone shots, okay? You want to actively harvest your eggs so you can then have them fertilized and, maybe put on ice for whenever you want to have a child in the future. But rich don't know that. So him asking if you're on birth control or if he had stopped taking birth control, it's a valid question. He could have asked it differently. Definitely could have asked it differently. But it's a valid question. So, after Rich asked Sabrina that, Sabrina threw him out her house. I was like, well, she said she was tired of people running over her, walking over her, telling her what to do, telling her how to feel, telling her how to be. She didn't threw him up out the apartment. She didn't call to read Andy's riot act, but before Andy could explain what was going on with her, Rich came by and all that stuff. And Sabrina is very upset with the girls because they were supposed to be helping her plan Karen's baby shower. But let's be clear on something. Karen keep burning bridges with people. And it looked like next week she gonna burn her bridge with Pam. Now, Pam and Maurice did come to Serena's to try to help her plan the baby shower. But at the end of the day, Karen ain't got no friends like that. Karen continues to burn bridges left and right with people. When Serena called Danny to ask where Danny was like, listen, I'm getting a wax. I got to keep up with Tony's ex-wife, new wife, old wife, whoever, she back in town. I got to keep up. And let's be clear, Karen don't want me there. We not cool like that. She caught an attitude with me multiple times. We're not cool like that. So Danny wasn't gonna show up. Then Andy not answering her phone. So it's just like, Sabrina, yes, it's time to get the girls together so they stop running over you. But at the end of the day, you can't expect anybody to show up for Karen when Karen continues to be an asshole. You can expect that. You can expect people to show up for her when she continues to be an ass left, right, and center to everybody, okay? Now, because Maurice was there, we're going to take it to Maurice. Maurice then went home, and he didn't found his new man up in there cooking him and cleaning. Now, granted, when he got in there, the kitchen was a little mess, but he was cooking and cleaning. However, I, too, am like, why the hell would you bake oxtails? I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna leave it alone. I don't know I don't know nothing about no baking no oxtails. Stewed, braised. If you trying to get a little extra with it, a lot of people like to fry them, but I ain't never heard nothing about baking them. I mean, you could bake them after the fact of eating them and doing all that. You know what? I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. So Maurice goes off. Maurice is like feeling like people was encroaching on his space. So he head on down to the club, and his little bartender friend is like, what's going on with you? So Maurice runs it down, and he's like, Maurice, you got a man who is cooking and cleaning for you. Do you know where I'd be? Do you know what I would have on? Nothing, because he's cooking and cleaning for you. At the end of the day, Maurice is afraid to let that new man in because he's afraid that if he let him in, the same thing that happened with Q is going to happen again. Q had him and Sabrina locked up, lied to the cops on them, robbed the bank, stole all his stuff. The whole shebang. He's afraid of that. And instead of telling this man or accepting the fact that you are afraid that your new man will be like your ex because your ex did a number on you, you've taken it to self-sabotaging. So Maurice is actively self-sabotaging, and it might hurt his feelings next week when that man pop up down to the club with some woman talking to him. A mess. An absolute mess. Now, We kick it on down to Pam. Now Pam, she gets to work. Oh, Pam asked Maurice to be an ambassador for her hair Roots to Riches. She asked him to be an ambassador for Roots to Riches. So now Pam has an ambassador. She is doing her social media thing. She is trying to get her numbers up. She is trying to boost sales and business. So she get to work. And Karen is complaining about her being late. Of course, Pam answers the phone. She does a lot of things around the shop. So of course her being late is not a good thing for the shop or, for things to run. But then here go Karen. I don't know about all this social media stuff. I don't know about this. I don't know about that. And at the end of the day, you don't know nothing about this, but you won't have to get hip to the game because at the end of the day, baby, you was operating in the red. You had to borrow money. Okay, bills was due. Rent was due. Bills needed to be paid. You have to be okay with what Pam is doing as long as it's not going to get you caught up in no jail, no nothing. So she asked Pam, how was your date? And she was like, oh, it was cool. We talked about with Trey. We talked about business. We talked about each other. We talked about each other. We talked about what type of sports we're into, what type of music we're into. So they've been going on little dates here and there. And Trey eventually stops by and he decides to, give Pam some advice. And he was like, listen, and at first she was like, I don't want it because I don't want, I don't do competition. But he was like, no, listen, my barber had this oil. Now he was giving out free samples and it worked wonders. So the next time I went over, I went and bought all these things. Maybe you should think about doing samples. So he's giving her some good advice on top of the fact that she's just secured Maurice as an ambassador. So, good things can happen. Good things can happen. We love to see it. And he was like, you was a little lit. He was a little lit, okay? Not gonna hold you. You definitely were a little lit. But they plan on, doing something else, and he wants to get to know Pam. So I was like, okay, cool for Pam. Now, Jordan is down there with Ethan, the assistant, or whoever this man is, and they talking. He just spilling his guts to this man, and obviously Ethan is working for Gary, and he just keep talking to this man to the point where they done broke out the whiskey and drinking and talking. However, something should have been up when Jordan didn't see this man drinking, and the man was like, "Oh, I don't need no drink." So you continue to drink, talk. And this man is stone cold sober. You see, there's a problem there. I'm not about to be drinking with somebody who is stone cold sober but keeps pouring me drink after drink after drink after drink. That is a red flag. So he gonna get on the phone with Andy and he telling her, oh baby, I miss you. Oh baby, I love you. Oh baby, you should come down here and do nasty freaky things to me. And she was like, oh, had a hard day at work and I'm just stressed out. On top of the fact that if she sees him, she would have to tell him that she saw Penelope. We're gonna get onto that. So while he's talking to her, he got his back turned. Oh boy, slipped him some type of liquid into his whiskey. So he hands him the drink after he gets off the phone. He down it like you truly, I guess it tastes like tea for you. So he downs it and then he starts feeling like weak and he like, oh, I need some water. Baby, ain't no water gonna happen. He passes out and oh boy drags him by his feet to wherever he gonna drag him off to. And we see in a preview he gonna wake up on the couch and gonna ask that man at some point in time, what time did you leave? And he's going to lie to him. So yeah, more problems afoot. Now on to Penelope. Andy went down there, followed slash saw slash I forgot what the hell she did in order to go by Mr. FBI man. But she looking like, let me in this room. Who you got up in here? Tell me something. Okay, I'm supposed to be testifying. She's a witness. What is going on? Like, I'm testifying. And he like, oh yeah, we're protecting our witness. Who's the witness? Out walks Penelope. Penelope, you're alive. What a surprise. Dun 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 dun. Yes. Penelope is alive. Penelope is no longer pregnant. When he pushed her on the ground, he pushed her, I guess, belly first. and it caused begged and begged and begged him to get her some help. He didn't want to help her. She was like, she in pain. She need help. She's bleeding heavily. He didn't want to help her. He then told miscarriage. She no longer has a baby. So now she's pissed and she won't him to pay. She pissed and she won't him to pay. He took something from her that she will never ever be able to replace. You will never be able to replace the fact that she was growing that child in her womb and she thought she loved you and she thought this was a child of love. And the reason why she lost that baby is because you decided to push her on the ground. And then when she was begging and pleading for help from you, as she claims, baby gone. I feel like this is a lie. And not that she lost the baby. I think Penelope been working with the F to be and the I to get Gary. And I feel like that baby was fake. That's my conspiracy theory. That's just my conspiracy theory. And she just told ANDI all these things. So ANDI would be more likened to her. That's what my thought is. Now, ANDI wants to tell Jordan, and they're like, you can't tell him. Well, maybe I could do. You can't tell him. At the end of the day, if he find out that she's still very much alive, this could be bad for us. So you shush. Now, speaking of ANDI, ANDI and Hayden is in trouble with Miss Marie. Miss Marie had her first arbitration with her soon-to-be ex-husband. Now, soon-to-be ex-husband and his lawyer then brought out all these employees that say Miss Marie is abusive and she's a tyrant and she's all these things. And Miss Marie said, listen, I'm not about to throw my good china at no wall for no insubordinate employees. I don't fight with my hands. What's the point? These were gifted to do something great. I will argue with my words. And once again, don't nobody give a damn about the employees. So my advice is y'all get this together. Y'all fix this. So when we come up in here, we get our lives together, because honestly, it shouldn't be going as far as it should have. Like, it shouldn't be going as far as it is. We should have had this over and done with, and get it together, or I'm gonna take my money somewhere else. So Fatima is happy about Hayden getting getting his feelings hurt, and ANDI and him has all gotten together. Now let me tell you something. 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 Hayden is a kiss ass, and Hayden is slinging dick for promotions, because Hayden goes down to Miss Marie's hotel room, and he's apologizing and telling her, oh, I'm gonna do my best, I'm gonna get you everything you want, I'm gonna make sure you win this. And she says, well, what you gonna do for me? And she drops her robe and she's in her best lingerie and she pulling on him and he just enjoying it. So I said, you slinging dick for a promotion? Oh my God, you horror. Ooh, just and then we gonna see them all buddy buddy in the office come next episode. Child, this was I haven't even gotten on to Danny. Danny at this point, Miss Girl, please let this man go. This man loved his wife. Soon to be ex-wife. That lady still love him. They still a family. Talking about we decided we was gonna be friends for the kids. And when she come back to town, she's staying with Joe Mama. And y'all having donuts and coffee. And y'all listen, healthy relationships are amazing for people who co-parent. That is amazing. But the way y'all was talking to each other, the way y'all was a ha, and she just went and did her tour, and now is she back, and it's just like, oh baby, I missed you and I loved you. That's the type of energy it was giving Danny. And Danny, I ain't gonna be mad at you. That's the type of energy it was giving. This man, that's some other feisty. This man is trying to fill out a maternal bone in your body, and it's trying to give you the maternal instincts that people always feel like women should have. because he wants a familial unit and he wants to make it with whoever he can get from. And at the end of the day, Danny is right. That lady want to be back with the family, because instead of saying I'm his ex-wife, she said I'm his wife. With you, yo, y'all got 2 kids together, and even though them children ain't under 5, keep your family alive. Okay, they over 5, but listen, she want to keep the family alive. You want somebody with a maternal instinct. Maybe the reason y'all broke up is because she's in the military. I don't particularly care, but go ahead, leave Danny alone and go back to your family and let it be that, because at the end of the day, you still want to be with that lady. And he tries to make this up to Danny and distract Danny by giving her some head on the couch, and I'm just like, I mean, this is a distraction for now, but this ain't gonna work in the long run. And then Fatima and Zach get them a nanny. We're gonna see how this works out. I don't know if we can trust her just yet with nephew Michael, but that was it for Sisters. And if you liked it, please remember, hit the subscription button, turn on your notification bells, and check everything in the description box down below. And then hit the like button and leave a little comment. With that being said, that was it. That was all I had to give y'all. I'll see y'all later. Bye.